Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Riga, and this is the Eastern European episode vlog series. And we're going through Riga centers, Baskachka, and a bunch of places. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Nick from Riga, aka Agent Zero, and we're going to be going through these places. So I welcome you to this journey. Today we are in center of Riga, and that's the National Opera. Today is a good day, but today's sunflower is to the maximum, which could be deadly if you suntan. Compared to something like a cooking pan, because outside the UV is on a level of 7, which is almost at the level of Casamance. No problem. And as you can see, there the view is nice. So good. I really like this chest in terms of the fact that when the sun shows up, there's like some kind of like sun reflection of, the dark steps and the bright steps from the sun reflection. So I wanted to tell you that today is July 16th, and today is the sun UV index is 7. So I'm here to tell you what you can do to protect yourself from sun damage. So I have my bag over here. It's like the Batman utility belt, right? And so number one, what you can do is pack an umbrella, right? Let me just show you from a distance over here. You just open it, right? Boom, boom. And now you are protecting yourself. If you don't have an umbrella, right? Because this is what Asians do and people in Asia, right? They protect themselves from skin damage. And that's why, people in Japan have one of the longest life expectancies in the world. Now, next thing that you can do is use a hat. Any hat works. I don't even believe in this hat's political opinions, but I just thought it's cool because it has the EU flag. But yeah, it protects your face because your face is the most sensitive part of the skin. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the middle of Riga, and yeah, and I got my fucking fingers bleeding because I try to show you guys, that you can use an umbrella for sun protection, and now it's like later, so it's like 7, 8 p.m. So right now the sun UV index is less, so it's not a problem right now. But you get the problem. Anyways, please respect the dedication I do to make these videos. The last one I dropped on this YouTube channel was 30 minutes of a YouTube video. And now we're in this beautiful area here in Riga. As you can see, as you can see, people are fishing here, so that means that there are fishes here, which is good. That's nice. That's excellent. As a person who has lived here for more than 27 years, as a Rigan, I would say it's excellent to see that, this pond or river is thriving. That's nice, So, I make these videos for you guys. So please appreciate the dedication I do to make these videos great. Thank you. As you guys see, I got pizza. And this is Pizza Italia from Express Pizza, really nice pizzeria. I've been eating that pizza since 2009. And then I've added Tabasco sauce to make the pizza spicier. Yeah, but this is a 40-centimeter pizza. Yeah, it's really delicious. Highly suggest you guys to try out Express Pizza. Best pizza in Riga. I swear to God. Alright, yeah, see you guys. Greetings. Right now we are in Riga Centers in the tunnel. This tunnel was made during the times they wanted to install metros here. So this is like a leftover, and thank God they didn't install the metros. Because if I existed during that time, I would be like the guy protesting against the metro. Because God damn it, if the metro would come here, the city would be bigger. Now, I don't want to live in a city that is like Tokyo. That's just too huge for me. Look how Riga Center is beautiful. This is nice. Today is a beautiful day, 27 degrees. Today is July 18th. Going through Riga Centers. You can see the beautiful restaurants of Riga. Nice, absolutely beautiful. Visited the St. Peter's Church of Riga before, but as you can see, there's this writing over here. It says that this place was a church Reformation movement that was started by Martin Luther in 1517. They made the Reformation, putting in the Andreas Novcan as the priest of St. Peter's Church. May they rest, St. Peter's Church. As you can see that there's these beautiful sculptures. So the St. Peter's Church is a church built by the Germans in the mid-1200s. Originally, there was Catholicism. Now there is Lutheranism practiced in the church. Recently, the government sold the St. Peter's Church to the German St. Peter's Association. What the fuck? Why is the government so money hungry that they sell out their own church? Because once the German St. Peter's Association got hold of the St. Peter's Church of Riga, which is one of the most important, buildings of Riga, they had a job to renovate the very top of the church. I've actually been there when I was 7. But they couldn't do it. They don't pay taxes. I pay taxes for everything I do. Even the food that I buy is VAT tax. Their believers sign contracts where they pay 10% to the church, and they take the money that could be invested from the government's that could be used to invest in schools, and they still can't pay for the top floor. If you can't pay, then just move aside. If I had the type of money to buy this church, I would buy it and I would take over. This is ridiculous how a foreign country's association can't even manage a goddamn fucking church. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? So right now we're next to the Riga Duomo Church, and next to it, as you can see, the landmass, as you can see, is lower. The landmass is lower because when originally this church was built, that's how, in the medieval times, that's how, low the ground is, because historically, when the years go by, land goes up. Interesting facts with Nick about Riga. Comes to the streets of Old Town of Riga. They give these type of medieval vibes. They give these type of historical, factual type of vibes. You could go to, these old town restaurants that are so old as the town itself. You could visit all types of churches. There's so many churches that you can visit. So when it comes to Riga churches and Christianity, there's so many type of churches. Let's start with the classics: Catholic Church, Lutheranism, and Orthodox. Well, you won't see Orthodox in these clips, but even continuing, there is fucking Jehovah's. And these fuckers, they can't fucking leave you alone. Then you got Latter-day Saints. Oh God, Jesus fuck shit. And then some other motherfuckers. Yeah, it's about Riga. Did you know that Germans used the River Riedzina and they turned it into a channel that exists today? And during their time, Riga was fully fortified. As you can see, that's the fortress of Riga. Well, it is at least the leftovers, because Riga was fortified 360 angles. Then let's talk about that has been put there since the 17th century. So if you put wood right in the water, it can last there for a really long time. Interesting, right? Because usually wood rottens in water and becomes moldy. Then next, let's talk about the Lila Gilde and the Small Gilde, which was like basically the seller's guide, where you had to be German in the medieval times to get in that seller's place. So if you wasn't German, they would be like, "Listen, you little peasant, go screw yourself." Yeah, that's a really interesting fact that you didn't know before I told you. So check out this Estonian embassy. Looks like a US spy agency. That Peter Thiel type of Palantir type of vibe. So Riga was once a village where were these people living here called the Libyans. Their language was similar to the Finnish Estonian language, which is similar to the Finno-Ugric language. Then came in the Tectonic Knights. They forced every person that was pagan to become a Christian, and it was by force. And then in 1201, Bishop Albert created Riga.
Hello guys, so right now we are in the clothing shop. As you can see, I'm in a clothing shop. I guess I'll see you later.
In this clip, I was at the Holy Gertrudis Church. It is a really beautiful church located next to the Brivibus Street Gertrudis, what do you call it, coordinate that falls in the street point. Really nice church. Highly suggest you to visit it. This beautiful inn yard I found here in Riga centers. You can really find beautiful, nice locations just here in Riga. I found a lot of beautiful places that have sculptures and all types of stuff. No, really, this place is nice. Really, it's great. So nice. I swear to God.
There's a really interesting reason why there is a chicken on every church in centers of Riga. I'm talking about the St. Jacob's Church. I'm talking about the Riga Dome Church and the St. Peter's Church. The reason is because it helps with navigating the wind in the ancient times. It helped with navigating the wind. Fun facts that you didn't know.
Studying law this semester. And get this book now. This is Property Rights 5. This book's first part was one of the foundations of Latvia's Republic's civil law. So if you're a lawyer and your skills are becoming lackey and your exam is coming up, get yourself Property Rights 5 now. These are one of a kind. This is written by one of the greatest lawyers in Latvia. Real estate, intellectual property lawyer, Jānis Ozolīts. Also a professor and a teacher that has been teaching law in University of Latvia for more than almost a half century. Proper physical copy 3276, digital copy 2449. Get this book now.
So today we are in the Maskachka Moscow Priešpilsēta. We're in the micro-region which is notorious for Russian ethnic minority. This has always happened. Even before the Second World War, this place was known in Riga as Little Moscow. And so, yeah, so we are here to record these videos and stuff. Speaking about Maskachka, it's a really cool place. It's located near centers, so you could have affordable real estate. And so, yeah, what you will see here is buildings that are from pre-war era, that's like before the Second World War. You know, and in my videos, I like to promote Latvian culture, but you could sort of say that this is basically, you know, it's a safe place. In general, Riga is one of my favorite cities. And right now we're in Latgales iela, but this street was notorious that it was named Maskavas iela even during the first Latvia's independence. A lot of streets here in Maskachka. Look at this nice industrial office building. Nice views. It's like you always gotta open your eyes to stuff. But basically, during 2022, this street had historical change. You know, Russia invading Ukraine. This was in area was named from Moscow Street to Latgales, because, you know, there's this beautiful place named Latgale, and actually a lot of streets names were changed during that year. So I think that's historical change, not in a good or a bad way, but I'm just telling you the historical facts here in this YouTube channel. So if you like to educate yourself, I always like to educate myself more about information that I can, you know. Yeah, and this place has a bunch of types of buildings, usually apartment complexes. They also have a wide range of industrial building sectors. So, but the interesting thing is that, you know, there's stereotype that Maskachka is dangerous. I think maybe at nighttime, but in daytime, as you can see, it's a cool place. You got public transportation over here. You know, there are a bunch of houses. There's also private houses. There's a bunch of houses, you know. And as you can see in the distance over here, it's a place is pretty huge as a microregion. It tends to Kangaroos. And I used to live in Kangaroos. I didn't live in Maskachka, but I would cross this place all the time. And so yeah. So I think it's like kind of like the Chinatown of Riga, because it's like interesting, cool place of culture, you know. And I'm just saying that, you know, when culture is spread with this, you know, idea of positivity, you know, even with the Soviet Union, whatever, it is like something that we can learn from, so that doesn't happen again, right? You know, because there's also bad in it, but there's also good in it, right? So we can't just say everything is bad, you know. Look at this. This is beautiful, right? Exactly. And you know, this is a cool place. So yeah, I've covered a lot of micro regions in my YouTube videos. You know, Silent Center, Agenscounts. You know the drill. But what makes this place good and nice is that, you know, you will meet people here and stuff, and they're just like, you know, people everywhere, just always cool and stuff. So my message is always spread positivity. This YouTube channel, it's like kind of like a hobby, you know. So yeah, there's a place where you respect, you know, the dead, because there's this park over here, and I've hanged out here once, and once we hanged out with my homie and stuff here, and then some Russian-speaking people approached and thought we were Americans. That was funny, because it's like, I'm not even American. I've never been to America, but I'm just telling you interesting facts. There's also this sign in one place, I think next to. So what's interesting about Maskachka / Kangaroos is that, for example, my dad told me that during the Soviet times, there were still houses, and then during the Soviet Union, Latvia was heavily industrialized, so which gave more people living spaces, but at the same time, I'm just saying that during that time, basically a lot of houses, about 500 houses were destroyed in Riga, which is a crazy fact. A bunch of buildings were changed. We can't forget the heavy industrialization that was happening during the Soviet time. So during the Imperial Russia time, when there was the last Tsar, Nikolai II, in power, a lot of people that were peasants, they paid off their houses from the big landlords that owned mansions. And during this time, when the Second World War ended, then the Soviets destroyed a lot of houses. Like I said, my dad his first job was measuring stuff, and he was the measure guy, and he saw how places like Kangaroos, for example, got heavily industrialized. But, you know, a lot of these buildings, they come with pluses and minuses. The pluses is that you have a house that is tightly secured. For example, you're in the house, and that house is like small family complex, apartment complex. It has, you know, you have your own staircase, your own place, and you can have a beautiful view, which is nice. And a lot of buildings during that time were changed. For example, pre-war buildings. They used to stage, you know, 75 square meters to 150, big condo size. But then they were all turned into smaller spaces, divided an apartment by 4 or 5. Yeah, so those were the changes inside the apartment complex. Some of these farmhouses that were now private houses still exist today. And look at this beautiful walk space here in Maskachka. Nice place where you could walk up a mountain. You know, beautiful stone streets. There used to be more of these stone streets during the 1800s of Riga. A lot of places even looked better in those times. And, you know, but it's like with the good and the bad, it's like a lot of things are good and bad at the same time, right? So look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. Nice. This is like, imagine, you live here, got a nice walk place for you and your family to walk through. So it's like, you know, you see, it's really nice. And here in Maskachka, just want to spread awareness that, you know, there's the stereotype that Maskachka is not good, but I don't know. I think I've been convinced this is a good place. And, you know, there's a lot of new apartment complexes being built here. I think it's a nice place, honestly. A lot of tourists also say that, you know, Latvia is becoming a haven, a beautiful place. Look at this. This is absolutely marvelous. Nice. So, you know, This is what my YouTube channel is about. Spreading positivity, you know. Light wins darkness every time. It always prospers. And right now I'm trying to do a record where I could make another 30-minute video drop record on the top of my side hustle. And now I'm dropping another one. This beautiful park. Imagine these oak trees over here. Imagine that like the years before they exist, they were like young 80 years ago. And trees, they never stop growing, man. It's just, I think, you know, parks like Tornikols, for example, don't have enough trees. Bro, like the air here is so good, man. It's so good, bro. Compared to near centers or something like that, this is much different. I was walking in those parks until I noticed this interesting place here. You got the pond, right? It's kind of cool. You got this chair, they were donated by, I don't know, Ina Silinia. So you got this nice place where someone could sit down and stuff, right? And, you know, today's July 23rd. And basically, you know, I think this is a nice place. Nice place where you can sit down and stuff. We're next to a place I used to study, but I didn't graduate. But over here, also not from here, there's a gun range too, and there's a church, the Orthodox Church. So yeah, and there's also another university here. It's the Seba University name too. I think this building over here is really nice looking. So this used to be the old computer studies, you know, middle faculty. There would be the math section. There would be another section, and right when I stopped studying, they updated the place to a new computer building. This was the lunch hall over there. Not that a lot of things have changed here, but just some memories. Like I remember me and my homie, we used to get juiced in that spot and stuff. So yeah, it's really interesting. The most interesting thing is the co-exhibition of universities that are here. There's the business university, the economics in the back of this place. There's also the Seba, that's more like a business university, and then there's university. I don't know what's happening these days here, but when I studied, it was like old buildings, and then they got renewed to better buildings and stuff. But you get my point. So basically, that they could have, you know, renovated the buildings better or whatever. And so in this side where you see Seba, it's kind of like this nice, kind of like, you know, castleistic vibe and stuff. And, you know, usually in the end of the June, there's like still exams and stuff. And then by the end of June, everybody goes, you know, whatever break or whatever stuff, just refraining from the memories and stuff. So really interesting, because the new building, it's just much better, but you get the point. Yeah, what's also interesting that are like next to each other. So it's like, this used to be the math department. Over there was the computer architecture department. I remember I wrote an exam in computer architectures, and when I wrote an exam in that class, I went to the toilet to write down the answers. When I went back to the place and wrote back the answers, the teacher broke the exam and said, "You got to write a new." Unlucky, but that's just how it happened. There in the distance, you can see that there's a gun range. So it's kind of like GTA. You can go to the gym, like GTA San Andreas. You get to the gym, you get jacked, go study, and then you go to the gun range. Mega based, right? Mega based. And yeah, it's basically a really cool place. And I actually once tried this gym, and I will tell you that, well, let's just say the training equipment needs to get better. And also, I think the only people who go here is the teachers, because the teachers get a discount going there and stuff because they work for the RTU University, whatever. But yeah. Well, I just think that, oh shit. So fucking dirty, what the fuck? Why I think personally that the RTU, why I personally think that the RTU gym is in a bad condition, but is a better deal comparison to other gyms like Lemon Gym and Go Gym, is that, you know, Go Gym and Lemon Gym, they will make you go on, sign on a 12-month contract notice, which is like, I don't know, I just think if I did exercise, then I would just go do calisthenics. You can get your max, you know, what you want to reach, you know, your semi body, whatever, without that. I walk like, I don't know, 20,000 steps a day. At this point, I'm pretty sure I'm walking at least 20,000 steps a day, or at least 15,000. but you get the point. You get the point. You could get your summer body training, whatever, without going to a gym. You're just doing calisthenics, because a gym is improper, because it's like if you need to carry stuff, it's not the same as you're carrying stuff in a gym. You know what I mean? Also, when it comes to the 12-month notice gym stuff, another problem is that the gym qualities, sometimes those gyms don't have hot water availability, which is also not good, right? So, and it's like, you know, I think the best thing you could do is calorie deficit if you want to lose weight. Now, there's also a thing called muscle mass stuff, but I'm just saying that you want to gain muscle, just do calisthenics. You'll get muscle in 2 months and stuff, you know what I mean? But I think I gotta practice stretching and stuff. My muscle needs to recover. I don't exercise, but I walk a lot. The best non-strenuous exercise, but even then, I walk a lot. So you get my point. I don't get the point of going to a fucking gym. I would rather turn my house into a gym or something like that, because then I could do, you know, different types of training during different times and stuff. I think that's one. Also, it's like people who run a lot, they get their, you know, feet up and all this shit. So it's like, you gotta, you know, choose with the shit.
Guys, today we are in IKEA. I got the lula kebab, this is fries, plus ketchup, plus this, plus drink. What do you have for your order? Fish, and plus rice, and lemon. Then you have lasagna with cheese sauce, dessert, donut, coffee, and yeah. I wish you bon appetite. All right, see you in the next clip.
Hello guys, right now we are in the place where somewhere about 80 years ago, people who got sent to the Gulag. I mean, the smartest, most intelligent minds of Latvia got deported to places like the Gulag. This is a really unfortunate event in Latvia's history. Right now, we're in this place to remember these people. These people were the smartest minds of Latvia. We're talking about doctors, engineers, like actual doctors and engineers, not the ones that he used bringing in, but you get my point. So this is the train that was used to be sent. And so this is the train that was used by the communists to send people from the train station of Tornykals to the deep depths of Russia, to the gulags. That is a really unfortunate event. It has affected the Latvian people to this day. And this is a really unfortunate event in Latvia's history. We are here to remember those people. May rest in peace the people who got deported, their passports got taken. May they rest in peace, their souls be respected. Exactly. That pink building, right? You see that pink building, right? So that pink building over there is the place for, you know, magician concert place. Really interesting, right? Did you know that there's this magician place here in Riga? I don't know, but now you know. You know, it says that they can break zoning laws and they can build all types of stuff like, you know, air ACs, custom parking areas, you know, more customizability to the apartments, right? Because if any building that was built in the 1900s, right? Like, I mean, 1940s or, you know, 1990s, whatever, 1980s, Soviet Union, whatever, they had strict, and they still have, these buildings still have strict zoning laws. But with the Bonneva projects or any newly built projects, they can break these zoning laws and they can build, you know, more types of houses. Maybe housing for seniors that can't climb, I don't know, 5 floors, so they can install an elevator in a 5-floor building. Maybe it's a student, so they can install the apartment building at a smaller size, but it comes at a more convenient price for the client. Or maybe it is a family, so they can build, let's say, a custom smaller apartment for a student, a custom, you know, senior apartment, and a customer family where there's more rooms for children and for the parents and stuff. But you get my point. It's like the new project. Hey guys, so that concludes this video. It took me a lot of effort to make this video. I hope you like this video. So if you like this video and you would like to see more videos like this, make sure to press like. That is how I see that you like this video. And if you would like to see more videos like this, subscribe with the notifications on to see more videos like this. And if you want to see more personally suggested videos, then I would suggest you to comment down in the comment section what type of video you would like to see next, so that we can make that video even better than the previous one. This has been Agent Zero, aka Nick from Riga, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Alright, guys, see ya. Wanna be ya. Peace. Bye.